And we're back with the show. It's Gerald Gosford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. It is starting to be that time when the best of 2023 flows from all of our contributors and people who give us such great time of their day to go ahead and talk about what we do in pop culture all year long. So it's about time for them to go ahead and start shouting out their best of 2023. And first up is a great person indeed. She is a fantastic part of what we do here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. But you got to go ahead and check out what she does each and every time out, wherever you get your podcasts, on the Mother Daughter Ish podcast. It is Dawn Fobbs. And Dawn, great to have you here. Getting in that
Thank you.
festive spirit. I truly appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Love it. Love it indeed. Wishing you and the family continued happy holidays. But I
You
know
too.
this has been a thank you, and this has been a great year for television.
It has.
Despite the
Yep.
SAG strike, which did get
Yep.
resolved, thank goodness it didn't drag on
Yeah.
for too long. The writer's strike dragged on a little bit longer, but that was finally resolved. We can have hopefully a better 2024 because of it, because of all the delays and things of that nature caused by it. But
Right.
2023 still had its share of good moments on television. And since
It
you
did.
are the individual that we come to for television tips and good shows and good thoughts on it, please let us know your best of 2023 in television.
For me, my best of 2023. Okay, we're talking about broadcast TV
Whatever you
or
want,
just okay.
streaming,
Good,
broadcast,
good, good.
cable,
Because I got my notes here.
even
Okay,
if it's
so
on one of the channels that's just only on like Samsung TV or something like that, if it's something that
right.
hits your fancy on television this year, however way you got it, it's all yours, my friend.
Okay, so for me, what blew me away for this year, let me start there first, was Succession, the way it ended. And I'm hoping that what I think happened at the end, I am so hoping that is not what happened. Because I'm thinking that the daughter conspired with her husband to make sure that when the dad died, she still got everything. I hope that is not what it is, because if it is, man, the Siobhan is tough. She is a tough cookie. So that still has me on the edge of my seat, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. The next one for me that I wasn't expecting, but was so happy that I'm still in on it and that I took a chance and said, okay, let me see what that's all about, was Queen Charlotte by Shonda Rhimes. The Queen Charlotte took me to a place of excitement because I didn't think that she would then take the characters and kind of break them down. I thought it was going to always be about the same thing. But that one made me happy. That one made me excited. That one made me want to look forward to what's happening next. And I've already kind of chosen who I want her to talk about next. I'm sure she won't, but still, I have my, who I want her to talk about next. And then also on Prime Video, one that kind of stuck out to me that I hope what's happening today doesn't go against her, but Megan Good's Harlem. They got a season 3 approved. So season 3 is coming back. And the reason I said about what happened today, because they did find Jonathan Majors guilty. A jury
Yes.
did find him guilty,
Mhm.
and he has since been fired. And because she was on his side, I'm hoping that that does not get held against her, because the show is really, really fun. It's really, really good, especially for, I say, the 20 and 30 year olds. I think it's really, really, really a good show for them. But I find myself liking it because I've kind of liked the shows that Megan Good's been in, but the fact that she's producing her own shows now is kind of to me pretty pretty exciting. I was one day, Gerald, sitting in my studio, minding my own business, and I'm sitting there writing out, what we're gonna do for our next show, whatever. And something just told me, turn the TV on and just see what's on Netflix to just you know how you like background noise when you work?
Hmm.
And I happened upon this show called The Diplomat. I don't know any of the actors. They all have foreign accents. I didn't know any of them, but I found myself really getting into, and I usually don't like political shows and things like that, but this one was just, it was just so good that I was like, okay, I think I can get into it. And then I ended up literally staying in there and watching the whole thing. So that one was one that kind of blew me away. But if I have to sum it up for the whole year, it's going to be Succession, because when White Lotus came back, I was hoping for that to be my, exciting part. But I even rewatched it again this week, the season, and I thought to myself, it was just too much. It was too much confusion. It was the plot at the end took too long to get to it. I love sometimes when I watch a show and they give you the beginning and then they circle back to the end. I used to really, really like that, but now it's becoming so cliche that I don't fancy it so much at this point. It's like, okay, cliche. But I hope that they do better. They've gotten Jennifer, what's her name? Jennifer Coolidge is no longer on the show because she
Yeah.
got killed. But I hope that
I know Elizabeth Banks
when
recently stated that she wanted to get killed off on the show. She publicly is lobbying to get killed off on the show. She say, "Hey, can I come on the show? I want to get killed. I want to get killed." It's so funny.
why?
Just because she enjoys the show and she just wanted, she doesn't have the time to commit to the, actual being a character for a
Oh,
long period of time. So can you just,
yeah,
you know, just because she admires the
yeah.
social, and you see actors
I
do
just
that
hope
from time to time.
I just hope the next episodes are better than that one, because if not, I'm out. The first one was very intriguing. The second one was like, what are you doing? You're jumping the shark. Like you're ruining it. It was just, I don't know. They didn't give it to me. Uh but Succession is my number one, but I also liked The Night Agent.
Mhm.
Jenny and Georgia came back this year with a good fierce episode. That one I'm a little on the fence about because it's so much drama between a mother and a daughter, and I don't know anything about that. So that's confusing to me, but to just watch it was just really, really interesting. So for me, those are the shows that excited me for this year. But my number one, I'm gonna have to say, is Succession. Now, what happened is that with Succession, I ended up not seeing the last season. But then on my trip to Thailand, I had 28 hours on an airplane. So what did I watch? I watched Succession with no interruptions. It was amazing. And I finally got to watch the end and I went, I hope this is not what I think it is. So that one has me on my toes and sitting on the edge of my seat, and I'm so ready for the next one to come out as well. This week, I've been watching on Stars. I've been catching up with Outlander. That's one of my favorite shows, Outlander. And I see that they've got a season 8 coming, but I caught up on season 7. As a matter of fact, I'm only got maybe 2 or 3 more on season 7 before this one is in, because I want to be ready for season 8 that's coming up. So Outlander has been a favorite of mine for the past 7, 8 years on Stars. That's really the only one that I watch on Stars. I don't really watch anything else on Stars, but I like that one. So those are my favorites for 2023. I'm actually kind of like you. I'm looking forward to 2024 because even with all of the things that happen in TV and writing and all of that union and everything for 2023, we still have so much to look forward to. I was even hopeful, even if the strikes continued, I was still hopeful for TV simply because we have so many new people. We have, to explore when it comes to TV. I'm not so much into the AI, I'm not so much into those type of things, the robot stuff and all of this, but I feel like there's still some other innovative people that are out here that are going to make some good shows. It doesn't have to be our normal regular folks that we always see and all of our big stars, but there's so many newcomers on the scene that I've been actually enjoying watching shows where I literally know no one in the show. I kind of like, getting to know new people in a show. So I'm very hopeful for 2024. I don't know if the reality show train is going to slow itself down, or I'd like for it to come to a halt, but we know that's not going to happen. But like my mother said last week, she said they could do whatever they want in TV, just don't take away the young and the restless. And I said, they must be here to stay because with all of the issues in TV and with all the strike and everything, the Young and the Restless stayed very faithful to her. So she is so happy about that because that has been her show for 100 years and she loves it. So for me, the streaming is kind of where it's at for me full time, simply because I have to do other things to try to figure out how to watch some of the other shows. So I'm enjoying Hulu. I'm enjoying HBO Max, or if, as they just call it, Max. I'm enjoying Netflix, of course. If they do another price hike, I'm probably gonna be out because I don't. It's not gonna do it for me for that. And all of the shows that I'm watching over there, I figured out how to watch them other places. So I'm just enjoying where I can get whatever I want to get since I curate whatever I want to watch. I don't do any appointment watching TV. It's all I'm going to see it when I see it where I can binge watch it all at one time like I've been doing Outlander for the last 72 hours. So that's kind of where it's at for me.
I recently binge watched over the weekend Blue Eye Samurai, which was recommended to me by one of my fellow hosts, Melinda
Uh-huh.
Bartels Ross.
Uh-huh.
That is absolutely fantastic. It's a
Okay.
couple little flaws near the end because
Mm.
they wanted to make sure that they positioned themselves for season two, but otherwise, it was a fantastic show. And it does have a lot of mature themes and content, as Netflix animated shows seemingly want to
Yeah.
do now. But
Yes.
otherwise, it was a really outstanding performance. But I get you; it's like appointment watching. I can't watch it always when it comes out, so I have to go ahead and make time, maybe a
Whenever you
week,
can.
a
Yeah.
month down the line, where I can set a weekend aside to go ahead and do just that. Yeah, I cannot say I blame you a bit. But getting back to Secession, Secession is probably one of the top 2 or 3 shows that's out
Yeah.
there. I mean, The
Yes.
Last of Us, and Secession pretty much are gonna be decided upon as far as at the top of whatever Emmy lists that are at, and
Yeah.
whatever Emmy nominations that they get. But it is going to be clear that, whatever critics awards and things of that nature is going to be either Secession or the Emmys. But the fact I like Secession,
Yeah.
and the fact that you like Secession, is the fact that this is one of the few major high profile shows in quite some
Mhm.
time to
Yeah.
end with not a large amount of backlash against whatever
Right.
ending. Because you go to Sopranos, you go to Lost, you go to so many other shows, Game of Thrones, for instance. Like
Yes.
the
Yes.
last season, people just, seemingly, like Josh and I, we could have just thrown away because it was worthless to us. So, in many ways, it was just really disappointing as what happened to it. Uh,
Right.
yeah, but you don't hear that with Secession.
No.
When I hear you're talking about, you wanted to the way you were seeing that you can't believe what happened, but
Yeah.
that's not because you were angry that it was poorly made or poorly done.
No.
You're
No. No.
just
No.
looking for extended plot lines and what if
Yes.
scenarios that were created by an ending which, by all accounts, seemingly has glowing reviews.
Yeah.
Done. And I
And
just, your feeling as you're watching it. Tell me about
yeah,
that, more of that. That's what I wanted to know
yeah.
more about when you're watching Secession, because you feel so, I can see you feel so passionately about exactly why it is the best of 2023 for you.
Let me tell you something from the moment that I saw the very first season, I was just looking for something and I found it. And I like the characters. I like the family dynamics because it's just so freaking real. Like this happens in families for real when it comes to business, it comes to money, it comes to who's going to take over, it comes to who is the person who thinks they are. I mean, I have 4 children and my youngest tells everybody, "Well, y'all know I'm mom's favorite. Y'all know this." And so anything that's hers is mine. I don't know about you kids, but I know I'm the queen. She literally tells them that and I'm just like, "Who told this girl this?" Like I know the family dynamics of it in a funny way, but so real. But to see those kids backstabbing anybody and everybody to get what they want, to get to the top of the food chain of the business, is amazing to me. And to just see how unraid that father, I just like him. To see how unraid this father is, I wouldn't even be surprised, Gerald, if he's not really dead and he faked it just to see who was the backstabber. Like, I am so excited to see it come back. I'm willing to accept anything because I know whatever it's gonna be, the plot is gonna be knock your socks off type of plot. And speaking of horrible endings, have you seen Leave the World Behind?
Yes.
That's actually my next podcast that I'm doing. I'm breaking down what I got from it. I'm breaking down why I felt like they left that ending like that. I figured it out. I figured out why they left that ending like that, which
I'm
sucked
not going to
so
say I
horribly.
didn't. I'm not going to say I hated it. I'm not going to say I
Right,
loved it.
right.
It was just there. For me,
Yes.
it seems, and I said this on the show last week about it when I
Yeah.
talked about it. And it Leave the World Behind to me is you have Mahershala Ali, one of the
Yes.
best actors that's out there right now
He's the only
currently.
reason I watched it
Thank
because
God,
I remember him.
thank God they're going to actually still do Blade because I think he's going to be an outstanding Blade.
Okay.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
You have just a tremendous cast of
Yes.
individuals there. I just wish they had found something better to create out of it. And Netflix sometimes does this. I don't know if you've watched Netflix for a while, like I have.
Yeah.
There's these movies that they have, like a couple of
Yeah.
the Ryan Reynolds ones,
Right.
Chris Hemsworth, Julia Roberts. I understand Obama, produced this and
And
whatnot.
it's
That's
from
great,
a book. It's from a book.
but
It's a book that's
but
on sale right now.
all some of these movies that Netflix makes looks like they made them over a weekend. And
Well,
you
they
could just see
probably
with the
did.
limited number of shootings, yeah,
Yeah,
some limited
they
number of shooting
probably did.
spaces,
Right.
and just it just seems like it's just very small in scope. And sometimes smaller in scope movies work.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seems like that there could have been so much more given. Like I have this all-star cast. I would really love for them to go ahead and give a banger script, as they say, as the young kids say,
No.
banger script these days,
No.
banger you know
Mm-mm.
things. Then that's probably the last time you hear me say that. But these great scripts to do in order to support that great cast, and I just don't
Mhm.
feel that they got it. I
Yeah.
just felt kind of underwhelmed. I didn't feel it was bad. I just didn't feel it was good. And especially
Can
the
you
ending.
imagine?
That
Can you
ending was really
imagine
flat. That
it
ending
would?
was
Can you imagine if we did not have Mahershala and we did not have Julia Roberts? None of us would have even watched it. That's probably why they had to get such big actors just to even get the point that I feel like they were trying to get the point across to us. But I get the ending. I even broke it down to my daughter because she's like, Mom, after the cars start crashing into each other, I fell asleep. She said, I just could not handle. I say, yes, it's a slow burn. I say, but when it comes to propaganda and when it comes to uh
I mean,
scare tactics,
Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon's just sitting in the. You pay money for Kevin Bacon, and then you have him sitting in the back, sitting on the porch, doing
right,
nothing for 10
right,
minutes while
right,
Mahershala Ali is exposing. He's not exposing, but he's just talking about what's going on in the world and
yeah.
trying to basically tell you what the audience what's going on, and just why do you pay Kevin Bacon probably a lot of money for that type of role when he literally does
They had
virtually
to,
any.
or they had to, or we would not have watched. If they would have said Susie Q and John Smith and Nathan, who Marshall, we would not have even cared. We wouldn't have looked
Yeah,
into it. Nobody would have took the time. Like I went to Google to see, is this based off of a book? Yeah. Okay. Who
it
are the
is.
producers? Then when I saw that Obama lended his name to helping produce, because he gave 3 different points to the movie, so that made him a producer or whatever. And I thought to myself, okay, so these are the point. This is what they want us to get out of the movie. I get it, the scare tactic. It's the perfect time because of all of what we've been hearing about for the last 90 days. It was the perfect end of the year scare tactic. I get it. But if they had not used those actors and actresses, we would never have seen it. And then 10 years from now, we'd be going, well, remember back in 2023, there was this movie called Leave the World Behind, but nobody watched it.
But now people are going to be touching on it because again, I don't know if you saw the trailer for the upcoming 2024
I
movie
did the
Civil
Civil
War.
War.
Yeah, with
Yes, yes,
Alex Garland, who did the movie Ex Machina. That's
yeah,
one of his most famous movies right there. Yeah, he did a movie called Civil War. It's coming out 2024. It stars Kirsten Dunst.
yeah,
And which using similar type concepts from what you're seeing in Leave the World Behind. But
exactly.
again, I just felt that they could have been something more with that cast. But then again, when you're shooting it over seemingly like over a weekend,
Right, right.
yeah, and like you said,
It
they
was very,
they crashed. It's going to be more famous for crashing all those Teslas than anything else. Like, my
Well,
gosh,
even
where was
more.
the budget? Where was the
Yeah.
budget? It was all crashing against each other right there. And that,
Well, those were those cars that Elon probably had to recall 3 days later anyway. So he said
well,
we
he's
just
just
might as
recalled
well.
all of them, all 20, all 20 something, all 2 something million of them. He just recalled for. But again, it Leave the World Behind. It wasn't the worst. It won't be on my
No,
worst of list.
it
It won't
wasn't
be
the
on my
worst,
best.
but it won't be on my favorite list. It
Yeah,
won't be on my,
exactly.
oh
Yeah,
my gosh, you have to watch it list. It's like,
no.
you know what? Watch it if you want to. I'll give you the pointers. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. I personally wanted to see it because Mahershala Ali was in there, and I liked that he was in what was the show with Kevin Spacey? I love that he was in that presidential movie, and so I really just wanted to see how he's blossomed because I didn't watch that other movie that he played in, but this one I wanted to see how was his acting chops. And I haven't seen Julia Roberts in a long time, and I kind of forgot about her a little bit, but I just wanted to see how his acting skills were going to be in the movie, and so I said I'm going to watch it, and I'm telling you. When I tell you it took everything in me to stay with it, I didn't turn it off. I didn't fall asleep on it. I said, I want to know what the hype is about the movie. And I watched it the day it came out on Netflix. I said, I want to know what the hype is about the movie. And something said, get up and start taking some notes. So I got up and I started taking notes on what I felt like it was saying so that I could do a whole podcast on it since it's popular and everybody's talking about it. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and make a show out of it. And I'll just tell people what I feel like the movie is trying to say and why I feel like they put the end of it on there. And so again, it's not the worst, but it was not their best work. And if they're gonna continue to make movies, because I know Obama has a big deal with Netflix to produce all of these shows, and I've seen maybe three that he's produced, but I've never watched them. If I didn't even know he was the producer of this until I started doing my homework. But if they're gonna do these type of movies, they're gonna have to do better, and they're gonna have to give us more than Julia Roberts and more than Mahershala Ali and more than Kevin. They got to give us more than that because this movie was as dry as powdered milk.
That's probably the best way to say it. I mean, yeah, it just was there, and
It was
that's the best thing I can say about it. Yeah,
It was just
but
there. When you
but
said terrible endings, I was like, if we don't mention this, I'm
it
like,
was just a flat ending, and yeah, just the fascination about friends, and
yeah,
it's just like, okay, I get it. Yeah, that's great, but
yeah,
yeah, just
yeah.
I would have done better with that kind of cast. But
Yeah.
before we head it out, my friend, again, your favorite of the year is Secession.
Succession.
Um,
That's my favorite.
so before we head it out, as far as one of the things I want to ask you is 2024. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot good up front, but I think it's going to start to catch up. Everything is going to start to catch up. All the production work is going to start catching up with stuff starting in the summer, leading into the
I was
fall of
just about to
2024.
say that. I
Yeah,
was
we
going to
should.
say probably around August.
Yeah, yeah, this time next year we'll probably have a lot of great things to say about the latter half of 2024. But what are some of the things that you might be looking forward to, or that you've heard or seen that you really will be looking forward to coming in 2024?
I'm going to be looking. Well, I'm gosh, when you said that, I'm telling you what I'm not going to be looking forward to. But I am going to be looking forward to a lot more fun, uplifting shows. Not about this civil war, not about this cyber attacks and all that. We need to see something that's a little bit more. You can do all that, but you don't have to make it so in our face type of negativity type thing for people like me who look at it like, come on. I'm looking forward to the writers to get on about their business and start giving us some good TV. Come on and give us some more family shows. Come on and give us the next whatever Shonda Rhimes is going to do on Netflix. I know that Tyler Perry got a big deal with BET. I don't watch BET. I don't watch Tyler Perry's movies, but even him, he's got to step it way up because I never watched his show simply because they were just terrible. But anyway, give us some movies that are gonna, be a little bit more fun. I want to see some more romance novels and those type of movies. I don't mind seeing the Ryan Reynolds and all of these folks that they just keep giving us. But I'm really looking forward to some new actors, some new fresh faces, actors, actresses, and not just the 20-year-old ones, but some of the 40 to 70-year-old or whatever. I stop recycling the same people to us. Give us great quality programming and give us some new quality actors and actresses. And I hope that whatever they do, they never put themselves or allow themselves to be in the position that they were in this year with having the strike and everything. So I hope that the unions grow stronger and that they are supported the way they should be so that they never have to go through this again, because they just did this not too long ago. And now to do it again this year, it's like, come on, guys, get it together. And I get why the studios want to use more AI and want to use more generated type of things, because they don't have to then pay a human. I get it. Nobody's saying we don't get that. But for 2024 and beyond, I'm just looking for great quality TV. I'm looking for adventure. I'm looking for all of that fun stuff. So I hope they can bring that to us. And I'm also going to tell you what I'm not looking forward to and that I don't want to see. I don't want to see more created reality shows. And I don't want to see more created shows that are um, these animations that are just horrible. And I'm so sick of the remakes that I just could faint. I just I'm not gonna
Then
go.
prepare yourself for more fainting because that's going
Oh
to continue.
gosh, I'm not gonna go see The Color
How
Purple
many
because
original ideas are there out there in Hollywood? Not many, my
that's
friend.
why I just said I'm hoping for some more originality with maybe some new and up and coming people. I'm not gonna see The Color Purple because I want to remember it as it was. I don't want whoever the new and the fact that they did not include Whoopi Goldberg in it. I'm out. She to me should have really been
So
the
you,
more famous.
despite the critical, well, let me just say this respectfully. So despite the critical acclaim for it, despite the fact that it could actually be very well considered during award season,
Yeah.
you're not going to go ahead and check it out because
I
of
will
the
not check it out. I will not check it out. The fact that they did not include Whoopi Goldberg in
well,
this.
they made it into a different thing. They made it more of a musical. It's more of a
I don't
musical.
care. I don't care.
Okay.
Celie was more important than the Oprah character that was in there. Okay. Oprah
Okay.
became famous and became bigger than Whoopi. So, of course, she's going to get the accolades. But the fact that they didn't ask Whoopi to at least do an appearance or to, that's who the character is that regular folks love. We didn't care
Okay.
nothing about Harpo and the character Oprah played. So I just don't like that. To me, that was a little bit shady. And the I love Fantasia. The girl can sing her shoes off, literally. But I went to see the play when it was in Chicago. Matter of fact, I took my mom one year to Chicago when it first came out years ago, back in early 2000. And I was like, okay, this was good. But we're so far along now that we should have had, if we're not going to have Whoopi to do an appearance, take Oprah out of it too. Then don't let
Okay.
her do an appearance, okay?
I get it. Like, yeah,
So the
I
and
can
then
see that.
I heard on the radio yesterday that they're gonna do a play remake of New Jack City. When I tell you, I almost wrecked my car driving along listening to it. I was so mad. I was like, I am not
I've
going to
told you,
allow these
Don.
people to ruin my childhood
There,
because they don't have any originality. I am
that's
not allowing
correct,
it.
Don. You know, I mean, if we were there, a fly on the wall, we're there in
Yes,
the production meetings, or we're
yes.
there at the very high offices. Hey, I've got this great idea. We're going to make a remake of New Jack City. How about that? It was kind of a semi-hit back in the day, you know, and it's a whole classic. It's been appreciated for years on it. How about we remake that? They're going to greenlight that over an original concept or idea, unless
I
it's
wish
by a
they
heavyweight
wouldn't. I wish they
producer
would.
or director slash.
Just like what was it last year or this year? They remade White Men Can't Jump, and I
Yeah.
was just like, leave it the way it was. We love Woody Harrelson because of that movie. Like, leave me alone with these remakes. And then on Friday they said they're coming. I want to throw up in my mouth saying it. They're coming up with a Good Times animation cartoon. Gerald, let me tell you, these people are going to drive me crazy. I will not be watching that either.
Again, like I said, it's Hollywood. Not too much
Yeah,
originality going on there. They feel it's a safer bet, and for
but
every
we can make
one
new classics. We can make new
we
classics.
can, but again, it's just if you're financing this stuff, we look at it on the viewers end, we look at
Yeah,
it on the audience end,
yeah,
and with all due respect to them, they have to look at it from the actual. I don't know what I don't want to say bean counter, but
yeah.
the
Oh,
arithmetic, the accounting end of it per se,
yeah, I
as
know.
far as that's concerned. And that's if that's the case, sometimes they feel whatever they go with the safer bet is probably better for them. But
Oh.
Don, it's been great having you here. I don't want to give you any more headaches, but please give the mother daughter ish a shout out before we head on out, my friend.
Absolutely. Check us out on YouTube at Mother Daughter Ish. We are having a great time. Again, my next show is going to be all about Leave the World Behind. And then from there, I'm going to be talking about those shows that I don't want remade because and why for my childhood's sake. So I'm going to be talking about that toward the end of the year. Plus, we're going to do a countdown at the end of the year. I think I'm going to do on the 29th to just kind of run back all of the things that we've discussed on Mother Daughter Ish, but then all of the, I'm going to go with the highlights for 2023, not the negative stuff, but the highlights of great things that have happened for this year. And I'm really, really just really counting on just an amazing 2024. I'm looking at people being, successful for 2024. If you didn't learn what you needed to do during the pandemic up until now, I don't know what to tell you, because everything you need to know, you should have learned from there to now to go ahead and be successful and do whatever it is. I'm looking forward to all of the travel that we're going to be doing with the show, and partnering with some other people to do some great traveling, and to just kind of show people that, until you get out of your zip code, don't talk about other countries, don't talk about other states until you go there and see for yourself, because everything for me has been a true eye opener. So that's what we're doing at the Mother Daughter Ish Show. It's just kind of bringing in the goodness of everything, because we realize, I have a shirt that says there's still good people in the world, and I believe that.
All I will say is this, my friend, you're going to do an episode upcoming in the not too distant future on all the remakes you do not want to see. You better just make that a part one, because I have a
Part.
feeling about a year from now or two, you're
Oh
going to
my
be adding
God.
a part two, a part three, a part
No, no,
four, and a
say
part
that.
more.
Don't say that. I hope not. But I get, like you said,
I have a feeling you will.
I get why they do it, but they just have to know that if they can't do it as good and quality as they did it before, leave it alone.
Equality, what's that? There you go.
Like, what? Come on,
Okay,
come
okay.
on. If you're gonna take away the nostalgia of it, leave it alone. Leave it
Well,
alone. So yeah, that's my 2023 and my hope for 2024. And yeah.
once again, it is Dawn Fobbs. Please go ahead and check out her awesome show, the Mother Daughter Ish
Yes.
podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Well,
Yes.
Dawn, again, I'm wishing you the happiest of holidays for you and your family this holiday season. And again, I look forward to our conversations in 2024 on
Yes.
anything television right
Yes.
here
Yes.